Hi, Prema here, and welcome to your Vedic Astrology update for August 2024. Emotional month that we've just come through, the month of July. And a lot of people, especially this last week or so of July, really coming through an expansion portal that was challenging emotionally. So if you were really feeling all the feels, you were not alone, and some of us are still feeling them. We still have the sun in Cancer until mid-month. So it's just a time to work through those feelings and to open up and move through, because this month is going to be so much about really showing up and shining with your leadership, being able to express your authenticity, your gifts, and a big focus on communication. And Mercury's going retrograde. So we're going to be reviewing some things. And I will tell you the truth about Mercury retrograde. It's nothing to be afraid of. There's some things to watch out for, but Mercury retrograde also has a gift. Welcome to Chart Your Path. I'm so glad that you're here. You'll want to know what your Vedic Astrology ascendant and moon is, and the free chart calculator is down below, and you can get that there. Also, I appreciate you being here, subscribers. I appreciate those of you who are new, and I'd love to have you subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos. As we start the month, Venus has just transited into Leo on the 31st, and it'll be in Leo until August 24th. So Venus is our great connector. It's also the artist. And this placement for Leo is highlighting really our self-expression and creativity. It is really allowing us to be seen for our gifts and giving us the confidence to really step into our authenticity, our uniqueness, like what is your divine gifts, what is your it factor, and really step forward and step out with that. At the same time, we have Saturn aspecting from Aquarius, aspecting Leo. So Saturn, of course, is our great organizer, and Saturn is serious, mature, the planet of karma, and is retrograde currently right now, so it's pretty strong. So if you're feeling that seriousness, or like, oh, I just, that need to bust through the next layer in order to really show up and shine, I encourage you to do whatever soul work, whatever clearing you need to do that, because it is we're going to have a lot of energy here. We've already got Mercury in the placement of Leo as well, firing up our communication. And the way to look at Saturn is Saturn can bring depth and can bring truth. So you standing in your authenticity, you coming out as the connector that you are, the artist that you are, and really standing forward with your divine gifts, there is a depth to that. And any of that pressure you might feel, breathe deeper and be willing to just come from your depth in your expression, and that will help. Now, also, Venus is our planet of relationships, and relationships could feel a little bit more serious during the month of August, but that's okay. Again, serious doesn't have to be heavy. Think of it as like, okay, we're coming down to what's the depth in this. Mercury is already in Leo, and I'll talk about its retrograde in just a moment. So now we've got Venus and Mercury in Leo. But our next event of the month is our new moon that is in Cancer on August 4th. I'll bring you an update for that as well. This is a very powerful new moon. New moons are always new starts, right? But it is in Astrologer. It is in Cancer. Again, this emotional, transformative energy really asking us to open up, heal patterns, really a renewal for our nervous system, our emotional intelligence. So the emotions that we respond with in life instead of reacting emotionally. Because remember, our emotional currency, how we feel about things, is part of that vibrational currency that creates and manifests in our life. So we want to be aware of that, and we want to manage our emotions so they don't manage us. And this new moon will bring in some real deep introspection, especially when it comes to your dreams, and make sure to have time for meditation. It's very much around family, because it's Cancer, business, communication, property, things of the natural fourth house. But Cancer rules something specific for you. The moon rules Cancer, the great nurturer, this new moon in Cancer. Astrologer is an interesting nakshatra. It has the ability to really get down to the bottom of things. It's great for research. It wants to get to the truth and can really tell when something's off. So that's just a few things about the new moon. I'll go more into it in the update, but very powerful new moon for a restart, especially around all of this fourth house, emotional type energy, and whatever Cancer rules for you in your chart. If you're a Virgo ascendant, it's going to be your 11th house. If you're a Libra ascendant, it is going to be your 10th house. So, it just depends on what sign you are as well to bring into some deeper meaning there. Now, Mercury will go retrograde in Leo on August 5th. And this is an interesting retrograde because it'll be retrograde from August 5th to the 28th, but it's going to slide back into Cancer on the 22nd. So we have the first part of the retrograde, first couple weeks of it, all in the sign of Leo. And let's remember, Mercury retrograde is nothing to be afraid of. It does this 3 times a year. That's because Mercury moves really, really fast. This is our great communicator. It's also the merchant. I'm seeing it very much as the communicator here. And when Mercury retrogrades, it's when it actually slows down enough to really focus in an area. And if you happen to be a Gemini or Virgo ascendant or running the dasha, the soul cycle of Mercury, it's even more relevant for you. With Mercury retrograde, it's most bumpy, so to speak, unpredictable in the beginning and the end of it. So you want to watch out for the couple days before when it goes retrograde, the 4th, 5th, 6th, and then the culminating date, which is the 28th, 29th, depending on where you are, and either side of that, either day on either side of that. So that's because in that turnaround motion, it's not stable. Now, in the retrograde period of time, we're reviewing things, we're reevaluating, we're researching. And in this, it's not necessarily a great time to make really big decisions, but having said that, if you're already working on a decision, it's like things don't all stop. You're going to make many decisions during a retrograde. Just, if you can, be aware of those dates that I gave you. And what you want to do in Mercury retrograde is you want to back up your computer before Mercury retrograde, but in truth, you should back up your computer anytime. You don't want to sign important documents on the days right around the retrograde. And if you do, you want to double check them 2 and 3 times. But the truth is you should always double check these things. So it's not that it's something to be feared, but it reminds us to pay attention, double check things. Traveling too. Traveling can get wonky during this time. So, check your travel arrangements. I'm doing some traveling as well during this time. I'm actually going to a retreat I'm very excited to be going to in Tennessee, and I got travel insurance, So there's just things that we watch out for. But Mercury retrograde also has a gift for you. And the gift is, depending on your chart, the sign that it's retrograding in, it rules a certain part of your chart. More articulately, it's retrograding in fire signs this whole year, and it's sliding back into water signs. All the fire signs are either a purpose house, a wealth house, a relationship house, or a spiritual house. So that's highlighted in your chart. And then next year it'll be all the water constellations, and that will also rule a specific quality of your chart. So it also has a gift for you. I talk about that in my Divinely Aligned class for the year, which you can also get on my website. Now, some of the do as far as a Mercury retrograde goes is, yes, reevaluate things, go over things, maybe it's a project, maybe something in your business that you already, you thought, okay, well, yeah, this is what I'm doing, but you're not quite 100% sure. Let's review it. Let's take a look at it. Let's do a little bit more research. Let's sit with it. Let's meditate on it. So it's a good time to also to clear things out, to clean out your closets, to fix things that need to get fixed, to tidy things up. Great thing to do during a Mercury retrograde. But again, it's not to be feared. Jupiter is going to, and Mars are going to have a conjunction. They're in Taurus together right now, but the actual conjunction is on August 14th at 22 degrees of Taurus. You'll feel this energy, the days around that, maybe the 11th to the 16th or 17th is when the energy will really be most active. And this is a very much of an application. This is an amplification of the energy. Jupiter is Mars's big brother. So we've got Mars playing very much the engineer in this position in Taurus. And then we've got Jupiter, which is our great teacher. And having these together is interesting and powerful and also a trigger. So we've got all of that going on. Mars always is a trigger point. It's just what is. And it's also the planet of action and doing things. So this will be an amplification of energy, what Taurus represents in your chart collectively. This is the second house of values and wealth, acquisition, security. And you may feel during this time that you've got it in you to take some really bold action. It'll also help us to sharpen our skills. And again, this will be have a theme of values and wealth and security, again, because it is in Taurus, but it'll mean something specific for your chart. So you want to look at the chart calculator for that. It's something that, wants to move forward. So, you can finish a project during this time. Mars is always going to be very productive, very action oriented, and feels good when it's doing that. So, use the energy, but at the same time, be careful of your reactions and arguments, because Mars can just get pissy if it's not passionate. So make sure you are in your passion. The other thing with Mars is, as I always say, sweat, exercise, do your yoga, do your martial arts, go for a run, go to the gym. If you burn off that extra energy with Mars, Mars can really focus in quite well. The Sun is going to transit into Leo on August 16th. And this is fabulous. So this is when the Sun passes the Gandanta point between the end of Cancer and the beginning of Leo. Then it's starting its trip around the zodiac again, because it's coming home to the sign that it owns, which is Leo. And this, of course, is our great king, our leader. And it's also the archetype of the celebrity. And the celebrity leads with her light. Now, the beautiful thing about that, as I was talking about Venus, but there's this desire for self-expression and a new level of self-expression. Leo is a fire sign. It's fire in the form of like a hearth, where there's a fire in the fireplace and it's radiating outward. And so it's really calling you forward in your gifts, in your unique, authentic expression, your creative expression, and really expressing your divine gifts. Your Sacred Wealth Code gives you your divine gifts, your highest value gifts. So if you don't already have your Sacred Wealth Code, I encourage you to check one of the links below, get yourself a Sacred Wealth Code reading, or you can always get the Oracle deck like I'm showing you the cards for, or my book and journal are all on my website and on Amazon. All the links are down below for that. But it is a time that you'll have a little bit more jiva, a little bit more to really stand in your gifts, your purpose, your individuality. Now, across the zodiac, again, we have Saturn, the great organizer, retrograding in Aquarius, bringing in a little bit of that aspect of seriousness. And again, just take that as depth and walking your true path, because Saturn trips us up when we're not walking our true path. So that's how you can use that energy. Where are you not in your truth? Where do you need to shore up to your truth? And not in your truth doesn't mean that you're lying, but maybe you're not fully standing in your truth. We need to stand. We need to power stand. We need to stand energetically behind ourselves and behind our gifts. Not look outside ourselves first to reflect back. Am I really giving my gifts? Is this what I'm here to shine with? It's actually knowing that within yourself and letting that, like the fireplace, radiate out from you. It's time to show up and shine. And that's one of the things I'm so passionate about. That's what the Sacred Wealth Code is about. When you know what your gifts are, you know how you're wired up, then you have what you need in order to really show up and shine. Let your radiance come through. Give what you've come here to give. So you want to notice where you're holding yourself back in that. Now, Venus is here as well, and Mercury is also here in this placement during this time. So we've got a big party going on in Leo here, but it's time to express your fine self. So find an outlet for doing that, whether that's in your business, whether that's in your career, whether that's in your charity work in the world. Maybe you're someone who isn't into the arts, and you are someone who gets on a stage, or you write poetry, or whatever it is, or you get on social media. We have so many platforms, and it's time to express yourself on one. Give your gifts. On August 19th, Saturn and Venus are opposing each other at 23 degrees. Also check your chart to see if you have any planets there. And it's a good day to take a chill pill. You might feel a little restricted on the self-expression I was just talking about, and you might feel a little burned out. And relationships might be a little bit difficult. So just take it a little easy that day. Okay? No pushing. This too shall pass rather quickly, but Saturn putting that restriction on is, again, wanting us to face our karma, wanting us to get serious or go deep. I like to think of it as go deeper. There'll be a full moon in Aquarius on the 19th, 20th of August, depending on where you are. I will bring you a full update for that. I will do a full moon healing circle for that, and it'll be a very transformative one. This is in Denista, and it is in Aquarius with Saturn, and it's opposite Leo. So we've been talking about this Aquarius Leo axis in the chart. Aquarius being about the people, being about our social purpose, our who do we connect into to bring our purpose, who is our sangha, who is our community, and Leo being more about our individual expression. This will be a beautiful time, this full moon, and something is going to come into fruition during this time around that. Now, let's remember that Aquarius is also a very innovative sign, so it's where we do it differently. We do it new, we do it differently. And with Denista, it has a lot to do with creating wealth. Wealth is not just money. My definition of wealth is everything you need to fulfill your purpose. I talk about that so much in your Sacred Wealth Code and in all my programs. Wealth is unique to you. It's the resources that you need. And that can be the relationships, the connections. Yes, money, it's an energy of exchange. But what other resources do you need as well? And yes, it includes money. So it means different things to different people. And Denise itself means the star of wealth. Again, I'll do a full update, but we're going to have a wealth activation and a healing around our worthiness blocks and anything that blocks us from really attracting, creating the wealth that is very meaningful for us. Mercury retrograde slides back into Cancer on August 22nd until September 4th. It'll go direct in Cancer during that time. So this is where, again, this is the great communicator. We're being called to reevaluate how we hold ourselves back, how we stay stuck, how we are in the comfort zone that may not really be comfortable, but it's what we call our comfort zone. Leo is asking us to step forward and be clear in our communication and our individual expression. And there's something we're going back to break through that may have something to do with your family ties, your early traumas, your emotional attachments that are needing to be released. Awareness precedes change, so we need to know what they are first before we can release them, so that you can then, as it goes direct, take action on improving, take action on making the decisions to release that and then move forward as you gather up those pieces of yourself. Again, I encourage you to come to the full moon healing circle, because that's what it's all about, really gathering up these aspects of self that we've left behind somewhere. So what you'll want to be doing during the Mercury retrograde is really take time to communicate from the heart, not in reactive emotions, to be able to really tap into our emotional body. If you have things sort of stuck in your emotional body, you're going to want to do movement. You want to get them out. Yoga, get outside, walk. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's summer, get in a natural body of water. Let's clear the field, clear the emotional body. Stay grounded. Water's is grounding as being, your feet bare on the earth. So do both. And meditate, journal. For larger conversations, make sure you sort of talk it out with yourself, journal it about, get clear on your stance, get clear on your feelings before you go into those bigger conversations. August 25th, Venus is going to move into Virgo. Again, that's our great connector, our great artist, and also, I don't have it right here, but also our great muse. And this is Venus's sign of debilitation, because Virgo is about the details of life. Virgo is about healing. It's very sensitive. Virgo loves the natural world, but Virgo is more about the details, where Venus is about connecting. And connecting, we're not thinking about the details when we're connecting. So it can be a little fussy here. It can be a little fickle. It can be picky in relationships. It can criticize others. And the inner critic can come out, and you can be criticizing yourself. To counteract this energy, you want to get into your creativity, and it may not be as easy in the sign of Virgo to get into that creativity. I encourage you to bring nature into it, because this is a sign that is very connected to nature. Beautify your home, even if that's just bringing in some flowers, and practice gratitude for yourself and others so you don't slip into that fickle, picky energy. Now, you could practice gratitude for yourself and others all the time. That's a wonderful, wonderful practice. But especially bringing it in here just helps to counteract a little bit this way that Venus can feel just not so warm and fuzzy. And notice if you're feeling like your needs aren't getting met, that's where you might get a little bit complaining or criticizing. You're responsible for meeting your own needs. So find a way to meet them. But you have to be aware first. And, beauty and pleasure is so much what Venus is about. So if you're too much into the details of life, we tend to squeeze the pleasure out of life. So how can you bring some extra pleasure in? Plan for that. Maybe you're going to go to the spa during this time. Maybe there's just, something you want to go do with some people that you feel, just really relaxed and wonderful with. Get a massage. Any type of pleasuring, whether you're self-pleasuring or whether you're, engaging in something that brings you pleasure, that also will help to round out this energy. And it's something we should be doing anyway. Mars on August 26th will start its transit in Gemini. And now Mars really moves into the energy of the strategist. It's intellectual. It is a hot, fast kind of energy. Gemini is an air sign. It moves very fast. Mars is going to stay in Gemini, move to Cancer, retrograde in Cancer, and come back to Gemini. The end of the year will be all Gemini and Cancer for the sign of Mars. So we'll be talking about that. But while it is hot and fast in Gemini, it makes our communication fast. It makes us more curious, very passionate. It can make us argumentative too. So let's be careful about that. We want to give ourselves things to strategize. We want to use our intellect. So watch out for reactions, but give yourself something to study, to learn, to have, intellectual type conversations. It's also really good for debating. So only do that in the case of a good context around that. Don't just want to debate everything that comes at you. If you are doing that, then you are not connected really to your own curiosity about things and really getting in sort of the intellect and really thinking through things. Now, Mars wants to take action. So eventually you're going to want to bring that down into some inspired action. But read, learn something, give this energy a way to move. And again, with Mars, make sure you're exercising, make sure you're moving your body, because that will take that extra edge off of the energy. So on the 29th, Mercury goes direct, and it's going to go direct at 27 degrees of Cancer. Now, here, we're going to be able to start making some new choices about how we're going to move forward and the habits that we're going to break, where we've been living in our comfort zone, as I was talking about, which is really uncomfortably comfortable, where we might need to make some different decisions about how we're connecting in with family, with others, or about our home and property, or whatever Cancer rules for you in your chart. If you happen to be a Capricorn ascendant, then Cancer is your 7th house. So that would be business and intimate relationship. So again, knowing what your house is super important for you. And this is going to allow you to start to move forward with these things. It will eventually come back into Leo and spend more time in Leo. And that's September 4th. It'll move back into Leo. I'll talk about that more in September. So it's got a long stay in this area. Our communication is going to be brighter as it's going direct. It'll be very direct type communication, fast, quick. Again, think before you talk and speak from your heart. That's always the key here. But you will have more clarity. Clarity will come in. And one of the reasons we don't make big decisions on the day around when Mercury is going direct or when it's going retrograde is because it's like there's so much shifting energy and so much shifting information, all the information isn't in. So let's wait till the information is in. Having said that, there's many things you're going to make choices on. Trust yourself on your choices. So if you don't know, take time to get quiet, tune in, and notice how it feels. The remedies this month, as I said, is to stay grounded. Stay balanced. Do that by exercising, by getting in nature, by tuning in, journaling. Take care of your nervous system, especially in the first half of the month. Take care of your nervous system. Doing that, practice yoga, meditation, again, getting outside, all these things. Breath work is fabulous. We do breath work in the healing circle. Clear your patterns. take time out. Just be quiet. That takes care of your nervous system. And take the time to reevaluate things, because there's a lot of reevaluation between Saturn and Mercury being retrograde. And in that, again, that's journaling, sometimes talking it out with someone, a mentor, a friend. And, but do your spiritual practice. Come to the healing circle. And if you are wanting to go deeper and really understand more about yourself, about your business, about your gifts, then book a reading with me. My readings are incredibly transformational. I'm not here just to give you information. I am going to consult and really help you through, make choices, give you a plan. And based on all the expertise I've had after doing all of this for so long and doing life and being a healer and having my own business, and I do healing during my readings. So we actually address and move the energy where it's blocked. All the links to my readings are down below, and the price of them is going up soon. They're exclusive. I encourage you to go ahead and grab one of those, and I look forward to being able to dive in deep with you and help you open up to what's next for you. All right, thanks for being here. Leave me a comment. Tell me what's up for you. Any questions that you have, please please share. I so appreciate you getting the word out, and subscribe if you haven't. All right, so much love to you.